Hey guys, today I'm going to be telling you how to train during a fat loss phase. So during a fat loss phase, your training, it needs to be structured, but it doesn't have to be as complicated as people will have you believe. So when you're doing a fat loss phase, your body needs a response to hold on to your muscle mass. And it also needs adequate protein and nutrition to sustain that muscle mass. So we don't want to be cutting calories too aggressive. So with the training aspect, what we really want to focus on is still trying to progressively overload, but drastically cutting our volume. So let's say on a surplus or a bulk or a maintenance phase, you were doing 10 to 15 sets per muscle group. Now, for people that do not know what a set is, let's say you just did the bench press and you got on the bench press and you did 10 reps with 225 and you went either to failure or close to failure. That counts as one set for the chest and half a set for the tricep. Let's say you do one set or one movement of tricep extensions, you get 10 reps close to failure or at failure. That's another set. So that would be 1.5 sets for the triceps, one set for the chest. Now, to maintain muscle mass on a cut, I would recommend at least doing 3 sets per muscle group per week. Yes, you heard it right. 3 sets per muscle group per week. So that's cutting a third of our original volume when we were on a surplus of doing 10 to 15 sets. Even if you were doing 15 sets, if you just want to do 3 sets with relatively high intensity, that is fine. Now, what does relatively high intensity mean? That means, let's say if you got on the bench press, you heard me mention failure earlier. What is failure? Failure means your muscle was no longer able to get the weight up. Now, on a big compound movement, unless you have a very good spotter and he can catch really, really good, I would not recommend going to failure on this movement. If you wanted to swap that out for a Smith machine bench, you can go to failure on this movement. Now, as long as you're getting close to failure, that's enough stimulus for your body to get the signal to hold on to muscle mass. And the way to know this is, let's say you're on the bench press, right? And you go and your technique is pushing the weight relatively easy, but it's still hard. And while I'm watching your movement, it should get drastically slower and harder for you to get that weight up and rack it. That's letting you know that you're using the proper weight, getting a stimulus, and pushing close to failure. Now, if you want to take it all the way to failure, that means I can no longer extend my arms out and then my spotter is going to have to grab the weight. The reason why we need this is because our body needs that intensity to get the proper stimulus to grow. You see this time and time again. People in the gym, you can't tell the difference between their working set and their warm-up set. They're just either going way too fast with such a light weight, or they're not doing the proper technique. And basically, if you don't improve and you're not going up in weight, which you can go up in weight and improve during a cut, regardless of what people tell you, you're basically going to stay where you're at if you're not improving. And that's why we need to make sure we're getting the right intensity. But that's all I would recommend, guys. Get 3 sets per muscle per week in your training, and that's all you need to do. That's how simple it is. People try and make it complicated. That is how simple it really is, guys. When I was on a cut, I did 1 day of working out full body. I did 3 sets per muscle, taking them all the way to failure, which you can just take them close to failure, that's fine. And I maintained all my muscle mass and my strength. So I had a 275 bench press, my last bulk, and I just came off of a cut, and a week later I hit 280. What's that tell you? I maintained my muscle mass, and when I refilled back up and trained, I actually put on strength to my bench. Regardless of what people tell you, more is not better during a cut. You need to respect your body and make sure that you're just giving it time to do what it needs to do. You don't have to rush it. Like, if you go eat a donut and try and run a mile, bro, you're doing too much. You're going to give yourself a bad relationship with your body and food. Just give the fat loss time. Do it adequately. You don't have to train like you're an Olympic power lifter. Just train. Make sure you're pushing close to failure and providing the intensity, and watch your body do the rest.